So on the Databases tab, if you knew the name of the database you wanted to search, you could certainly go in alphabetically, but I would recommend that you use the subject menu and choose business. And when you click on business, it will automatically click that go button and it's going to run the search for you. So what that did was it did a search across all the PACE library databases, and it found the ones that contain content that would be of interest in some nature to a student in the Lubin School of Business. So in this case, it found 38 databases that are possible search tools for you to use. You will probably not use all of them, don't worry. You'll probably pick a few and then use those. And I'm going to show you, like I said, I'm going to show you some highlights today. So we're going to start with a database called Business Source Ultimate. And we saw this briefly already in that this is the database where the Harvard Business Review is found, along with many, many other titles in the field of business. So Business Source Ultimate is a multi-purpose search tool. And on the main landing page, you can start to scroll, and it gives you a lot of options to go in and browse the content. So you can see the leading publications, so business magazines, accounting and finance journals, management journals, etc. You could go in and browse here. And then they're giving you some shortcuts to go in to see the other kinds of content. So this database contains journals, trade publications, news sources, magazines. It also contains company profiles, you can see here, some country information, some industry reports. They've broken out SWOT analyses for companies. You can get access to case studies. So you can see there's different other kinds of content in this database that you may want to go in and look at. So for example, if I go into company profiles by industry, it starts to show me some of the industries that are available. And we can also go in and browse alphabetically if we wanted to. These are just a sampling, so of course you can see the all company profiles is there, but you could go in from here and you could click and get industry reports. So I'm going to go back. And same thing, we could do company profiles or industry profiles by country. So you have a lot of different options here for going in and browsing. They also have kind of hot topics, you can see here, popular topics, and then they have featured business magazines, and you can go in and browse or search those publications. I think most people will probably search using the search box at the top. So for example, say that I want to search, I'm interested in wearable technology, so wearables or wearable devices. I will point out to you that I used the suggested search, so wearables or wearable devices or wearable technology. First off, there's some typos here. However, it accounted for that. So you can correct those typos if you want to. In this case, I'll do that just so we can see this. So wearable technology. And what that actually shows you is that those prompts that come up, some of those come from the database, but some of those are searches that other people typed in. So I would always double check them. The ORs, okay, or tells the database, look for any of those. That casts a wide net, that you can use that when you have synonyms or very closely related terms and you really want to see what's out there. So I'm interested in seeing what's out there about wearables, wearable devices, etc. So I find over 16,000 results. That's a lot. We're going to narrow that down. There are filters here across the top. There are some shortcuts we can use under all time. So this is your publication date filter. I'm going to limit to the past 12 months. That immediately took that number down significantly. Under source type, this is where you can see all the different source types that are available in this list of results. So I have academic journals, magazines, trade publications. There are some industry profiles and company profiles here. So you do get those other kinds of content as well when you're searching using the search tool in Business Source Ultimate. In this example, I'm going to click and just look at the academic journal articles. So now I'm down to 304 results. So that's not too bad. That's a manageable list of results. There is an all filters button here, which opens up the full filter menu on the right, and you could go there and use many additional filters if you want to further narrow down your list of results. Let's take a look at how we can access and use some of these results. So when you're scrolling through, you can see the article title or the document title, and then you see the authors, and then you'll see the source. So if it's a journal article, obviously you would see the journal title, and then you start to see some of the abstract. You can click to see more of that. Below the abstract, you see your access options. So many of these articles are available in PDF full text or HTML full text. You can open up the full text of the article, you can download, you can print, you can save. So all of those options are available to you there. If you find something you really, really like, you can click that More Like This button and it will run a search for you. Sometimes you come across something like this though, this item number 3 here. Below the title and the abstract, in this case, it doesn't say access options. It says search for item. So the search for item button, what that does is when the article is not immediately available, it searches across all the PACE library databases to see if we have it. And I mentioned this earlier when I talked about that interlibrary loan account. So you can see in this case it says submit a request for materials outside the library collection. And there's the link, Pleasantville and New York City patrons, and that's you no matter where you are. The law patrons link is for students at the PACE Law School, so please don't use that link. So Pleasantville and New York City patrons request using Iliad Interlibrary Loan. It will ask you to log in with your PACE username and password, and it will fill out the request form for you. All you have to do is click Submit Request, and the interlibrary loan staff will get the article for you. It takes about 24 to 48 hours. They will email you a link where you can click and download the article. And I highly recommend that you do that right away because the articles only sit here to download for 30 days. So go ahead and download those articles as soon as they come in from Interlibrary Loan. So that's what happens when you see that search for item button. Click that, opens a new window, and you can easily request that article using the Interlibrary Loan service. Now for any of the articles listed here, if you click on the article title, you should always get an abstract, especially if it's an academic journal article. Up at the top right above the article title, you can see the quotation mark. That's where you can go in and get the citation for an article. Always double check that against your style manual. The little share icon with the arrow gives you options to get links, email yourself the article, and then there's the download icon there as well. So Business Source Ultimate, multi-purpose search tool. To go back to that main Business Source Ultimate page, you want to click on this kind of icon on the left that says EBSCOhost. That's the name of this interface, and that takes you back here to the main page where you can browse or you can search. And you can click the advanced search button over on the bottom right if you want to open up your search box and get a few more options right here when you're first typing in your search. So Business Source Ultimate, a great starting point for any research topic in the field of business, and it also contains some company information, industry information, SWOT analyses, case studies, etc. And you'll be able to use and browse all those things right there from the Business Source Ultimate page. And if you have any questions at all, please click on that big Ask a Librarian button at the bottom right. That will give you all the options to contact a member of the library staff and ask questions, and we would be happy to help.